Just watching the video that Kinigan did about the Florida shooting, and it got me thinking. Kudos to Kinigan for his analysis, spot on. I'd like to add something to that. I think that it's punitive if we establish some grounds, and that would be so that we can help things, progress smoother when we're trying to cover a subject. For instance, this Florida shooting. What do we know and what don't we know? We don't know what actually happened because we weren't there. We don't know everyone who is there. No sound? Really? Can you hear me now? Should be sound. Okay, no worries. Yeah, so what I think we need to establish is that, okay, these events are most likely staged. Okay? So when we're saying is it real or not? Yes, something happened because they're showing us, but what actually happened we don't know. So we can say that it's staged, that's 100%. All these events seem staged. Now, who staged them? That is another question. Did Black Ops, did the, what I like to call the shallow state instead of the deep state, did they set it up? Was it, did someone infiltrate and then get like the gun association to do it? Like, it could be anybody that really does it when you think about it, but we have to take a step back and realize what is most likely. No worries. It seems to be good. It wasn't too bad this morning. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. It seems to be a thing that kind of just like a wave format. Some days not so bad, and other days it's shitty. Kind of depends on the smoke too, I guess. Find the weed helps bring it up, bring it to the surface so I can expunge it. So as to this Florida shooting, we can just spend all day and night. We can Kid Cudi the shit out of all of the facts that there are. 1 second, now answering a text. No way. Woman's just at her lunch, or on her break actually. Oh, she sent me another one. Alright. Oh yeah, I got him. Yeah, I seen him. It's pretty cool, the stuff he does. He's pretty burnt flying around in that thing. Yeah, definitely. I think the cannabinoids definitely help. It's probably half the reason why they're making weed legal now. I know there's a movement, but it's kind of funny how they're giving us the medication to combat the geoengineering and all the other crap that they're doing. Yeah, very true. I will do that. Thanks. That's a good idea. So as for the shooting, I think that now that we know that it was staged, then we can look at, okay, who's staging these things? And then when we find out who's staging them, some people say like George Soros, but that's just a fall guy. So then we say, okay, well, who's connected to George Soros? And then you go down the line and you figure out where it's coming from. And once you do this with each one, this is our way to categorize and, write down all our information, do like a journal. That's like what these videos are, journals. And take all this information and we see a pattern. We see, okay, these things are happening continually, and we see they're happening on certain dates, and then we know that this shit matches up with the rituals that they like to do. I.e., yesterday was Valentine's Day. That's when they do the rituals on Valentine's Day and other events. Hence why they call it the Matrix, because May 1st is when they do a lot of the rituals, hence May tricks. They trick you. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if we could establish the things that we do know, and then we could figure out what we don't know from that, and then start figuring out that. Instead of just being like, oh, is it real or not? You know, like this stuff that we can't prove. Well, let's see if I'll want to roll up the rim, will we? Well, maybe start using different words. A false flag is more like a 9/11. These are like PRSs, problem reaction solutions. Nope, didn't win. I sort of won lots today. Yeah, PRSs, you know. It's a way for them to bring in things. If you want to show them some proof, show them the different websites. Just Google crisis actors, and there's different companies that hire people for these events. That's one step. 2 would be to show them how there's the same people showing up at different PRSs. How is that possible? That doesn't make any sense. You know, I can't make it to every single fucking activist event, nor would I go, you know, because I don't support all of them, because not everyone, you know, understands, or should I say understands how to properly do it, and they're usually infiltrated by government. At least they were in Newfoundland. It's probably one of the most corrupt provinces yet. Ottawa don't seem too bad. I mean, Ontario don't seem too bad. Exactly. It's still something that happened. They use stuff like real and fake to try and confuse your brain, because it's a word that your brain associates with, like good or bad, you know, nice and kind and harsh. Like there's different words that they use that everyone just instantly has a reaction to. So I appreciate giving you my opinion to help alleviate some of the stress that we receive each day. What else could you do? I mean, you could show them patents for stuff. That might help. But then I find with a lot of people that what we call the sheeple that go to the steeple don't know the difference between good and evil. They think that good means nice to people, but that's just a layman's a basic understanding of this. Someone could be really nice to people and then beat the shit out of their dog or not feed their animals properly. So how is that a good person? It's not. You know, there's variances, perspectives. That's how you go fucking off track. What was I gonna say? Well, that is true. One person would tell another person, and that would spread like 100 monkeys syndrome, and eventually we would figure it out. It's kind of like, that's why they try to tell you what is real and what isn't real. That way when your brain sees or thinks it sees what they say isn't real, if you even know what that information is, they normally don't tell you what isn't real. That's why they just go, oh, these are spirits and demons. That way you won't really look into it, because if you do, then you'll start to be able to see things for what they actually are, and then your brain starts to decode it, and then all of a sudden things aren't so black and white anymore. They're not so, you know, rainbow colored. There's more variation to it. I don't think they can. I don't know if there's a way, because they're making clouds, so you know, we're going to see the clouds and the precipitation. They probably tried, you know, but I really don't know how they could physically do it, other than, I mean, what they're doing is they're blending it with the clouds, and it's the same color as the clouds, so that's basically it. So how else could they create clouds without us seeing it? You know, that is a good question, though. Yeah, but is that propaganda though? We don't know, right? Like, who tells us that the magnetosphere is weakening, right? Mainstream science. So how can we believe them? We have to take what we, take the information that we were told and go, okay, where's this information coming from? Now, what information do we have that we can get from ourselves? Yeah, but why is our shield weakened? Don't tell me because of, well, tell me what you think, but yeah, it could be that. I heard it has something to do with the ETs and the battle they're having with the ETs because they're fighting them, and this is their way of developing the technology. They want to work with them while trying to figure out how to work against them at the same time. Yeah, it really makes you wonder, like, why are they doing that? Is there something wrong with the atmosphere? We know that, like, Project High Jump, was it? They were nuking the shit out of it in the 50s. Oh, yeah, definitely. 100%. That's a continual thing that's happening. I think it's like a wave, it goes up and down. People realize things and then they don't. Spiritual teachings is not something new. It's just catching on worldwide because we all talk. Yeah, 100%. I agree. And I will. You talk about like the Siths and stuff like that? Yeah, I'm down with the Organite and stuff like that. I've been looking into that. I'm yet to make my own, but it does seem very interesting. I've seen it on Buzzsaw. Yes, very true. That is true. It could just, I think about that, when I'm told stuff, it's like, I don't just accept anything anymore. I'm wondering, is there a reason I'm being told this? Am I being fed disinformation on purpose? Yeah, 100%. I will. Not to sound repetitive with the 100% stuff, but I will come take a look at it. Ugh. You think the chemtrails are not as deadly as we're led to believe? I don't know. I can't say they are and they're not. I know that it makes me feel sick, and I know that when I used to work outside, running around delivering, that I used to feel it more. And I know that it is damaging the environment through droughts and what it's doing to the. Have you seen the way the trees are and stuff? Well, I mean, which groups are you talking about? I'm not sure exactly who exactly you're talking about. I know that people do go up and do that. Sky enthusiasts, like you say, a lot of them probably know about it. I meet people all the time in the street that know about the chemtrails. They just don't know what to do with it, and they don't see how it affects them so much, but they see something's going on. That's the thing. Like, it's so diluted that it's not killing us instantly, or at least some people. Most of it is not. They say 10,000 a year on average. I said 10,000. You just typed 10,000. Oh my God, no. See, that's half the thing. See, you assume that, not just you in general, and I used to be like that too. A lot of people assume that because you think one way and your morals are of such that everyone else's reflect yours, and that is not the case. Everyone is so unique that even though some of their moral grounds are similar, they still don't have the same. They don't have the same courage, the same heart, the same know-how. They might not even know how to get it out. They might not even want to get it out. They probably don't want to stand out. They don't want to lose their position, maybe. Maybe they think that it is for a good reason. Maybe they think that people will think they're crazy if they say it. There's so many reasons why people won't say things. I've come across this question, and because I've dealt with this. Like, when I was in Newfoundland, I used to call every single radio station: CBC, NTV, VOCM. Oh yeah, definitely. You know, I've spoke to like I used to go down to the beach in Topsail Beach in CBS Newfoundland, and I used to go down and just talk to people and hand out flyers and stuff. And I met one individual. He was a pilot, and he says, he sees the chemtrails and stuff, and he knows that that what a contrail is supposed to dissipate after 10 seconds, maximum, a minute or two, depending on atmospheric conditions, very specific atmospheric conditions. But yeah, the Siths is a big thing. That it is pretty cool, and it is a part of the puzzle. But if you think about it, the Siths could have already been there, and them putting the chemtrails up there could be showing them, kind of like if you take a piece of paper that has something that's been imprinted on it, but there's no ink or anything there, and you take another piece of paper and put it over and you shade it, you can see what someone wrote there before. Yeah, I don't doubt any possibility, but to be honest, if they were doing it for a good reason, they would, you know, they don't do things for good reasons. If you think the government does anything for a good reason, then I don't know what to tell you. Look up the word government. It means control mind. It's mind control. Oh, true. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, we can look at everything optimistically and in a positive form, in a positive manner, and just be like, look, that's good. Like, I'm glad that there's toothpaste out there that now says fluoride free. That way people can question and be like, why does it say fluoride free? That's because maybe fluoride is dangerous. Haha, it is. And then they'll go and look it up and find out. So like chemtrails, they see, okay, why are they spraying chemtrails? And then they'll look it up and they'll start to see that the government is corrupt, and they'll start looking to aliens and then advanced technology, and then they'll start to look into health, and then they'll start to look into Monsanto, and they'll start to see the genetically modified aluminum resistant seeds, and they'll just keep going down and going down and going down, and they'll find people like Megan, who was the the chemical expert, who worked for the military. Find Dane Wingington, you'll find Scott Stevens. I mean, he's excellent. Well, we wouldn't be able to point if there was no chemtrails, and we couldn't talk about chemtrails. Nanotechnology is already out there. They've had nanotech barcodes for a couple of decades now. So it would just come out in a different form. But you're right, it would be less, there would be less things to attach to point and use as examples when talking about nano if there wasn't. I don't know. That's a question you're going to have to ask him. To be honest, I think sometimes a lot of the people that are the forerunners of these things sometimes are controlled opposition, to be honest. We've really got to look at things with a very broad point of view. We can't be narrow-minded. We have to think that anybody who is in the spotlight is potentially bought and paid for and there to push an agenda and propagate. Well, yeah, I suppose, like, but really, like, I don't think it's as simple as that. I think the universe as an entity is a life-bearing, but part of life is death, and part of it is survival, and part of it is, sometimes through stress, you do evolve. So maybe, they are meant to stress us on purpose, like the people in control, but they don't want to tell us that because people will never agree. And then they're trying to make money off us at the same time while we're doing this progression of our own stuff. Yeah, I see that. There is a lot to be said for that. But to think that the government is doing things for good reasons, I think that's a little naive and a little complacent, because then you're just going to kind of just not, you're not gonna, you're just gonna stand by and just be like, okay, well, you guys get a pass, even though everybody should be scrutinized until, they say, oh, innocent until proven guilty. No, when you're affiliated, you're guilty until proven innocent. Oh, 100%. That's what I've been doing. I feel like lately, not to toot my own horn, but I feel like I've been trying to bring out a more positive message and not be all doom and gloom about it and shit, and just, you know, be more free going when I'm talking about it, and that way people will be more open to talking. Well, you know, the alienation part is okay. That's part of your internal growth, and then that's also part of you realizing what people will and won't do when they are confronted with a very uncomfortable topic. Yeah, totally. I'm gonna save your, see my, okay, next time it comes up, I'm gonna screenshot it so I got your, unless you sub to me or something, then I'll know, and then I'll go to your page right after. I just, it doesn't come up in the comments section. Boom. I just saved your picture. So I got your name now. Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I think we need to start working together. You know, you got people that are going out and traveling around and making money doing this, and I'm happy that they're doing it. Yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mad props. Right? Did you guys have the Elliot? I thought he was a great channel, and he got shut down. And I noticed there's another channel got shut down today too. Yeah, exactly. Playing the victim doesn't get you anywhere. We need to realize that everybody plays a part, and when someone brings something to us, there's no need to get butthurt or personal over it, because there's usually a deeper meaning why they're acting that way. And if you can see that people are generally coming at you for a different reason, then it's okay. You know, like if you're going to stop for someone and they've got a bit of a non-sociably desired appearance, and then, you know, you say, oh, you go to pass, and then they go, no, that's okay. You don't need to go, oh, Jesus, fucking rude bastard. Dude can't take a fucking favor or anything like that. Realize that, you know, they probably don't want you to look at them because they're a little uncomfortable about their appearance and stuff. So just like that, like a lot of people don't like being in the spotlight because of their appearance. A lot of people have social anxieties. I know, because I used to be really fucking bad for that. But I pushed myself, and then I broke through that barrier. Did some drugs, which helps. LSD is the big thing. I feel like if anyone watches Batman, that Scarecrow had a really good idea. He just needed to put LSD in the water, just enough so that the blood flow would flow through everybody the way it's supposed to, and then everyone would be at that level of enlightenment, and then you could tell them. And they would understand, because it makes sense. They wouldn't have all these constructs, and then they would see all the constructs that are around them. That's what happened to me. Yeah, I know. Oh my God. That's what I think, like, if, like, I don't know about this whole satellites and stuff like that, because I haven't seen any satellite. Oh, there's a satellite. I think it's more likely they got drones up there that either got like Tesla technology or other tech that they use that doesn't require any fuel to burn. The free energy ones with the vortexes, with the, you got your magnets, you got your different magnets, and then you just need to start it, right? There's a guy that actually had a house that ran off magnets, and then his whole house got taken in. It was back in the 70s or something like that. I don't know if you can still get it on YouTube or not, but it's a video I seen when I, you know, back in the early 2000s when I first started researching and shit. But yeah, like, I think that these things are powered in another way. Like, they have this solar plane that can just keep flying and flying and flying. I mean, it's above the clouds, so it's always going to be charged. So they could just have things flying around. That's like the chem planes. They don't have to be pilots. They can all be controlled from the ground. They can all just be a computer program that lands them. People go and fill them up, and then they go back up again. Yeah, well, 100%. I said that again. Fucking 100%. I don't like repeating myself. I like using a different word. Helps stretch the brain. You know, people into weather balloons, they either believe what they're being told and that it's just a contrail, or they know the difference and they look into it, and then it goes from there. Yeah, I will. I'm going to get out of this now and start playing some poker. I just wanted to, you know, get out my point of view on what I think would be a good way to move forward, but all these fucking stupid ass problem reaction solutions. Yeah, man, 100. Damn, I did it again. I gotta get out of that habit. Cheers to all and to all a good noise.